One day, you will wake up and realize that time is gone, opportunities are gone, and the life you imagined is still just an idea in your head. And in that moment, the truth will hit you harder than anything else. Nobody is coming to save you, and nobody ever was. That is the harsh truth about success that most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid. You see, we grow up believing in comfort. We believe that if we just wait long enough, things will somehow fall into place. We believe that motivation will magically appear. We believe that one day we will feel ready. But that day never comes. Because success was never designed for comfort. Success was never meant to feel easy. Success is built on pressure, discipline, sacrifice, and the ability to move forward even when every part of you wants to stop. And this is where most people fail, not because they are not capable, but because they are too comfortable. Comfort is the most dangerous place you can ever live in. It feels safe, it feels warm, it feels familiar, but what it is really doing is slowly destroying your potential day by day, hour by hour, decision by decision. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you are voting for a smaller life. Think about that. Every time you hit snooze instead of waking up early, every time you delay your goals, every time you say, "I will start tomorrow," you are building a pattern, and that pattern becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your future. This is not about one big failure. This is about small, daily choices that quietly shape your entire life. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards actions. You can have the best plans, the strongest dreams, the biggest goals, but if your actions do not match your words, nothing will ever change. And deep down, you already know this. You know what you should be doing. You know what you are avoiding. You know where you are making excuses. The problem is not knowledge. The problem is discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like it. And here's another truth that nobody tells you. You will rarely feel like it. You will not feel like waking up early. You will not feel like working hard. You will not feel like pushing yourself when things get difficult. Feelings are temporary, but success requires consistency. If you rely on motivation, you will lose. If you rely on discipline, you will win. Because discipline does not care about your mood. Discipline does not care about your excuses. Discipline shows up every single day. This is why the gap between successful people and everyone else keeps growing. It is not intelligence, it is not luck, it is not even opportunity. It is discipline, the ability to do what others refuse to do. While everyone else is distracted, you stay focused. While everyone else is resting, you keep going. While everyone else is making excuses, you take responsibility. That's the difference. And responsibility is another truth people try to avoid. It's easier to blame your situation. It's easier to blame your past. It's easier to blame other people. But the moment you take full responsibility for your life, everything changes. Because now you're in control. If it's your fault, then it is also your power to fix it. That is not a burden. That is freedom. But most people don't want that freedom because it comes with pressure. It comes with the realization that if you fail, it's on you. If you succeed, it's on you. No shortcuts, no excuses, no one else to blame. And that level of responsibility scares people. So they stay average, they stay comfortable, they stay stuck. But you are here for a reason. Something inside you knows that you are capable of more. Something inside you is tired of living below your potential. And that feeling will not go away. You can ignore it for weeks, months, even years, but it will always come back. Because deep down, you know the truth. You know that the life you want requires a version of you that you have not become yet, and becoming that version is not easy. It requires change, real change, not temporary motivation, not short bursts of effort, but a complete shift in how you think, how you act, and how you live. You cannot keep the same habits and expect a different life. You cannot stay the same and expect to grow. Growth demands discomfort. Growth demands sacrifice. Growth demands that you let go of the old version of yourself. And that is where the real battle begins. Because it is not you versus the world. It is you versus you. Your old habits, your old mindset, your old excuses. That's your real competition. And every single day you either win that battle or you lose it. There is no neutral. You are either moving forward or you are falling behind. There is no standing still. Time does not wait. Life does not pause. Opportunities do not slow down for you. And that's why this matters. Because every day you delay, every day you hesitate, every day you choose comfort over growth, you are paying a price that most people do not realize until it is too late. Regret. And regret is the heaviest burden you will ever carry. Not failure, not rejection, not struggle. Regret. Because failure teaches you, struggle builds you, rejection redirects you, but regret stays with you. It reminds you of what you could have been. It reminds you of what you should have done. It reminds you of the life you let slip away. And the truth is simple. You either face the pain of discipline now, or you face the pain of regret later. Those are your only two options, and one of them lasts a lifetime.
Now here is where everything starts to change. Because once you understand the truth, once you accept that nobody is coming to save you, once you realize that your life is your responsibility, something shifts inside you. You stop waiting, you stop hoping, you stop wishing, and you start doing. This is the turning point that separates the 1% from everyone else. It is not a moment of motivation, it is a decision. A decision that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, you will not go back to who you used to be. Because going back is easy. Going back means sleeping in. Going back means making excuses. Going back means choosing comfort. But staying committed, that is hard. And success is built by people who can handle hard. You have to understand something very clearly. The life you want is on the other side of resistance. Every time you feel discomfort, every time you feel doubt, every time you feel like quitting, you are standing at the edge of growth. And most people walk away at that exact moment. They feel the pressure and they retreat. They feel the fear and they stop. They feel the challenge and they quit. Not because they cannot continue, but because they choose not to. And that choice, repeated over time, becomes a pattern of quitting, a pattern of settling, a pattern of staying average. But the people who win, they do the opposite. They lean into the discomfort. They push through the resistance. They keep going when it makes no sense, because they understand something that most people never learn. Pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. The struggle you feel today is shaping the strength you will need tomorrow. Every early morning, every late night, every moment of discipline, it is building something inside you that cannot be taken away. Character. And character is the foundation of success. Without it, you will quit. Without it, you will fold under pressure. Without it, you will fall back into old habits. But with it, you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, because you get stronger. This is the part nobody talks about. Success is not about reaching a destination. It's about becoming a different person. A person who does not give up. A person who does not make excuses. A person who does what needs to be done regardless of how they feel. And that transformation, it does not happen overnight. It happens in the small moments. The moments when you choose to keep going. The moments when you choose discipline over comfort. The moments when nobody is watching and you decide to show up anyway. That is where your future is being created. Not in big, dramatic actions, but in quiet, consistent effort. Day after day, week after week, year after year. This is how success is built. Slowly, silently, relentlessly. And this is why most people never achieve it, because they want fast results. They want instant change. They want immediate success. But real growth doesn't work like that. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes faith. Faith that your effort is not wasted. Faith that your work will pay off. Faith that even when you do not see results, you are still making progress. And that faith is tested every single day. When you work hard and nothing happens. When you stay consistent and nobody notices, when you push forward and results feel invisible, that is where most people quit. But that is also where the winners are made, because they keep going anyway. They understand that success is not about what you see today, it's about what you are becoming in the process. And once you understand that, everything changes. You stop chasing quick wins, you stop looking for shortcuts, you stop expecting immediate results, and you start focusing on the process. Because the process is where the power is. The daily habits, the daily discipline, the daily effort. That is what creates long-term success. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If your habits are weak, your results will be weak. If your discipline is inconsistent, your success will be inconsistent. But if you build strong habits, if you stay consistent, if you show up every single day, results become inevitable. Not fast, not easy, but inevitable. And that's the mindset you need. Not excitement, not motivation, not temporary energy, but commitment. A deep, unshakable commitment to your goals. A commitment that does not break when things get hard. A commitment that does not fade when you feel tired. A commitment that does not disappear when progress is slow. Because there will be days when you feel like nothing is working. Days when you question everything. Days when you doubt yourself. Days when quitting feels easier than continuing. And in those moments, you have to remember why you started. You have to remember the life you want, the person you want to become, the future you are building. Because that vision is what will carry you when motivation disappears. And motivation will disappear, that's guaranteed. But discipline stays. And if you can learn to rely on discipline instead of motivation, you will already be ahead of most people. Because while they wait to feel ready, you are taking action. While they hesitate, you are moving forward. While they doubt, you are building momentum. And momentum is powerful. Once you build it, once you start moving forward consistently, it becomes easier to keep going. But getting started, that's the hardest part. Breaking your old habits, changing your routine, stepping into discomfort, that's where most people get stuck. But once you push past that barrier, once you prove to yourself that you can do hard things, everything changes. You start to believe in yourself. And that belief, that confidence built through action, is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. At the end of the day, everything comes down to one simple question. Who are you becoming? Not what you say, not what you plan, not what you dream about, but what you do every single day. Because your daily actions are writing your future, whether you realize it or not. Right now, in this moment, you are either building the life you want or drifting further away from it. There is no in-between. And this is where the harsh truth becomes undeniable. Your current life is a reflection of your current standards. If you are not where you want to be, it is not because life is unfair, it is because something in your habits, your mindset, or your discipline needs to change. That truth is uncomfortable, but it is also powerful, because it means you are not stuck, it means you are not limited, it means you have control, and control is everything. The moment you raise your standards, everything in your life begins to shift. You stop accepting average. You stop tolerating excuses. You stop settling for less than what you know you are capable of. And when that happens, your behavior changes. You wake up with purpose. You move with intention. You act with discipline. Not because you feel like it, but because you have decided that your future matters more than your comfort. That is what separates winners from everyone else. It is not talent, it is not intelligence, it is standards. Winners expect more from themselves. They demand more, they push harder, they refuse to stay the same. While everyone else is negotiating with their excuses, they are executing. And that execution, compounded over time, creates extraordinary results. But here's what you need to understand. This journey is not easy. There will be days when you feel exhausted, days when nothing seems to work, days when you question whether it is worth it. And in those moments, you will be tempted to go back to comfort, back to old habits, back to the version of yourself that required less effort. But you cannot go back, because once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. You know what you are capable of, you know what you need to do, you know the cost of staying the same, and that knowledge, it will not let you rest. So you have a choice. You can ignore it, you can delay it, you can pretend it doesn't matter. Or you can act on it. You can step into discomfort, you can commit to growth, you can become the person your goals require. That choice is yours, and it is a choice you make every single day. Not once, not twice, but daily, through your actions, through your discipline, through your consistency. Because success is not a single moment, it is a series of decisions repeated over time. Small decisions to wake up early, to stay focused, to do the work, to keep going, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. That is where transformation happens, not in comfort, not in ease, but in struggle. Struggle is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It is showing you your limits so you can break them. It is testing your strength so you can build it. It is preparing you for the life you say you want. So stop running from it. Embrace it. Because everything you want, the success, the growth, the freedom, it's all on the other side of the work you're avoiding. And once you accept that, everything becomes clear. There are no shortcuts. There is no easy path. There is only discipline, effort, and consistency, day after day. And if you can commit to that, if you can show up regardless of how you feel, if you can stay consistent regardless of results, if you can keep going regardless of obstacles, then success is not a possibility. It is a guarantee. Not because it's easy, but because you refuse to quit. That is the difference. Not talent, not luck, not timing, but persistence. The ability to keep moving forward when everything tells you to stop. And if you can master that, if you can become that person, then there is nothing in this world that can hold you back, because the only thing that was ever in your way was you. And now, you are no longer that person. Now you are disciplined. Now you are focused. Now you are unstoppable. So take this moment, right now, and make a decision. Not a weak, temporary decision, but a real commitment. A commitment to your growth, a commitment to your future, a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more delays. Because the time will pass anyway. The question is, will you use it or will you waste it? The choice is yours, and it always has been.